Hello friends. In the previous class we have discussed about the timing controls. So we have classification of timing controls, that is delay based timing control, event based timing control, and level sensitive timing control. So we have discussed already the delay based timing control, that is the first type, under which we have discussed regular delay control, intra assignment delay control, and zero delay control. Today we will discuss the remaining types. That is, first one is the event based timing control. So as the name suggests, the event, so whenever any event occurs, the timing of the simulation need to be controlled. So an event is the change in the value on a register or a net. If any value of that particular register or net if changes, that is called as an event. From one particular value to another particular value, when it changes on a register or a net, that particular thing is called as an event. So events can be utilized to trigger execution of a statement or a block of statements. So as we need to execute a flip flop or some other sequential circuits in which a clock pulse need to be changed. So whenever a clock pulse changes or positive edge of the clock pulse appears, so that is nothing but an event, for example. So whenever that particular positive edge or negative edge appears, some set of statements must be executed. So such kind of events are called as event based timing control. So there are four types of event based timing control. The first one is the regular event control, the second one is the named event control, third one is event or control. So here the or is going to be used to specify the multiple events, and the last one is the level sensitive timing control. So this is the third type, level sensitive timing control. First one, the regular event control. So here a regular event control, which we usually use regularly in the program, to specify this regular event control, the @ symbol is used. Statements can be executed on changes in a signal value at a positive or negative transition of the signal value. The keyword pose edge is used for a positive transition. So here POSCDGE, it is a keyword. So if you use this keyword with any signal, so whenever a positive edge of that signal appears, the set of statement or block of statement are going to be executed. Similar to this one, NEG EDGE, negedge. So this keyword is also can be used for the negative edge of the signal. So along with this, @ symbol is used to specify an event control. So we'll see an example. So see here, this is the examples. These are the examples of the regular event control. So @ symbol is used. Then the clock is an identifier. So whenever clock is there, Q will be assigned the value of D. So Q is equal to D. Similar to this one, there is one more example, @ pose edge clock Q equal to D. So here pose edge is a keyword. It is nothing but a positive edge of that clock signal. So whenever a positive edge of the clock signal appears, Q is assigned the value of D. Third example, similar to the previous one, instead of positive edge, if you want to use a negative edge of the clock pulse, then NEG, neg edge, this is a keyword that is used. So clock is again, it's an identifier. So Q will be assigned the value of D. Then second example also can be written as, instead of assigning after the event, so Q is equal to @ positive edge of the clock pulse D. So the like this also can be used. So here D is evaluated immediately and assigned to the Q at the positive edge of the clock pulse. So here positive edge means what here? So taken second example, @ positive edge of the clock Q equal to D means Q equal to D is executed whenever the signal clock does a positive transition. That means it changes from 0 to 1 or 0 to X or 0 to Z or X to 1 or Z to 1. So whenever these transitions takes place, that means if the value earlier it was clock value is 0 and it is changed to 1 or X or Z, then the value of D is assigned to Q. Also, whenever the value previously was unknown, that is X, and it is changed to 1, or from high impedance Z and it changes to 1, that means final value is either 1, X or Z, then the assignment operation will be performed. Similar to that one, the negative edge. The negative edge means whenever the value changes from, that is clock signal changes or transition takes place to a negative transition, that is from a value 1 to 0 or 1 to X or 1 to Z or X to 0 or Z to 0. Whenever these transition takes place, the Q is assigned a value of D. So this is about positive edge or negative edge. Then the next one is the named event control. Verilog provides the capability to declare an event and then trigger and recognize the occurrence of that particular event. So here first you need to declare an event, then trigger and recognize the occurrence of that particular event. So this is called as named event control. So the event does not hold any data here. A named event is declared by the keyword event. So event is a keyword here and that is used before the actual name. So an event is triggered by the symbol, that hyphen and arrow mark. So this symbol is used to trigger the event. Triggering means, in digital electronics, the triggering takes place. So for triggering purpose, this symbol is used in a Verilog HDL. So the triggering of the event is recognized by the symbol @. So see here, so the three different things are used here. That is, event is used as an keyword, then hyphen and that arrow mark greater than sign is used for triggering purpose, and to recognize that triggering @ symbol is used. We'll see an example. So this is an example for the named event control. So a event is declared. This is an example of the data buffer storing data after the last packet of data has arrived. So here define an event. So the name of the event is received data. That's why event is a keyword and received data, it is an identifier. Here it is used as the event. Then check at each positive edge of the clock pulse. To do that, what you need to do? Always at the rate symbol, positive edge of the clock pulse. So positive edge of the clock means what here? Whenever a value of clock changes from 0 to 1 or x or z, or it changes from x to 1 or x to z to 1, then this always at the rate positive edge of the clock pulse is going to execute. Then always block begins. So begin if last data packet, that is, if this is the last data packet, you need to check trigger the event received data. If this is the last data packet, so if we have not yet discussed in the later part of the chapter, we are going to discuss this. If last data packet, this is an identifier here, last data packet, if it is 1, then trigger the event received data. Observe there, the hyphen and the greater than sign is there. That means it is used to trigger the event received data. So this is the end of the always block. Then one more always block, that is always at the rate received data. That means here it is used to recognize. So wait triggering of an event, that is received data. Whenever the event is triggered, store all the 4 packets, because there are 4 packets here: data packet 0, data packet 1, data packet 2, data packet 3. So these are the 4 packets. So store all the 4 packets of the received data in a data buffer and make use of the concatenation operation here, because observe there, the concatenation operation is used. So whenever it is triggered, so data buffer is equal to all the 4 values, that is data packet 0, data packet 1, data packet 2 and data packet 3 are used to store it in data buffer. So this is how the named event control, here all the 3, that is event keyword is used, then triggering is used, then recognizing of that triggering is also done here. Then the third one, the event or control. So in some applications, if you have more than one event need to be happened, if that is the case, then those events can be separated by OR symbol. OR is a logical OR, so it is nothing but either this or either another one. Any one, if it is an event, then you can process. That is, sometimes a transition on any one out of multiple signals or event can trigger the execution of a statement or block of statements. So this is expressed as an OR of events or signals. So that is, if more than one or multiple signals if you want to monitor, then you can just make use of a OR symbol to separate the signals. So such signals, multiple signals if you use, so those are called as the sensitivity list. So sensitivity list is used in the behavioral modeling, remember this. So the list of events or signals expressed as an OR is also known as the sensitivity list. OR means if you have a more than one signal, a multiple signals, and it is separated by OR, so that is called as a sensitivity list. So the keyword OR is used to specify multiple triggers as shown in the below example. So here event or control followed by the sensitivity list. Observe here always at the rate. So in previous example we have only one identifier here, that was clock, but here you can observe here reset or clock or D. There are three signals here. So those are separated by or keyword. So this is event or control. When you have more than one multiple signals, this is called as sensitivity list. So always block begins here. If reset is 1, if the reset is 1, Q is assigned with a binary value 0, 1 bit binary value 0. If reset is 0, then else part. Else if clock is 1, then Q is assigned with a value D. So this is how a event or control is used with a sensitivity list. Sometimes you can also write this sensitivity list instead of using or, you can also make use of a comma. So this is an alternative method of using event or control. So we'll see an example using a comma. So this list is going to have a edge sensitive trigger. Observe here, the same program is written in the sensitivity list separated by comma instead of or. Observe there, reset, comma, clock, comma, D. So earlier we have used or. Instead of or, right, separate the signals with the help of comma. So this also you can do it in Verilog HDL. Remaining program, that is begin. If reset is high, then Q is assigned with the value 0. Else if clock is high, then assign the value of D to the Q. There is one more example. The continuation of that one. A positive edge triggered D flip-flop with asynchronous falling reset can be modeled like this. Always at the rate positive edge of the clock pulse, comma, negative edge of reset. Here we have used the comma instead of or. If not of reset, if it is high, Q is equal to 0. Then else Q is assigned with the value D. So when the number of input variables to a combination logic block are very large, sensitivity list can become very cumbersome to write. So as we have in the previous case, we have used 3 different signals or. So it is very easy to write them or separate them. But if you have n number of such signals, so what happens then? It is very difficult to write all the signals or to remember. Then even if an input variable is missed from the sensitivity list, then the block will not behave like a combinational logic block. So to solve such kind of problem, Verilog HDL contains 2 special symbols, that is at the rate asterisk and at the rate in bracket asterisk. Both these symbols are identical in behavior. You can use either the first one or the second one. So these are the special symbols, and they are going to be used instead of writing all the specific sensitivity list. Just write this symbol, so it will include all the list. Observe here the example. Always at the rate using or event control, if you write, it will become like this: A or B or C or D up to M. There are so many signals. So instead of writing like this, observe the second line, second example here. Always at the rate asterisk sign in bracket. If you write like this, all the sensitivity list is included in that. just replace that symbol at the race followed by the asterisk sign. So this is how it makes easy to use. And the third type, level sensitive timing control. So until now we have discussed the edge triggered, edge sensitive control. Now we are going to discuss the level sensitive timing control. So event or control, earlier whatever we have discussed, that waited for the change of a signal value or the triggering of an event. So until that event need to be happened, we were waited. So the at the rate symbol provided the edge sensitive control. That is, we have used positive edge, that is pose edge, and we have used neg edge, negative, for the negative edge of the clock. That's why those are the edge sensitive control. Suppose if you there is one more type is available, that is level sensitive. If you want to use that level sensitive, then the keyword is provided in the Verilog HDL, that is wait, WAIT. If you want to have a level sensitive timing control, then make use of a wait keyword. So Verilog also allows a level sensitive timing control, that is the ability to wait for a certain condition to be true before a statement or block of statement is executed. For that purpose, the keyword wait is used for a level sensitive construct. So see an example here how to use that one. Always wait. Wait is a keyword here. Count enable. Count enable is a identifier. Hash 20 count is equal to count plus 1. So here in this example, the value count enable is monitored continuously. It is going to be observed continuously. Whenever the count enable is 0, the following statement, that is hash 20 count is equal to count plus 1, is not going to be entered, or it is not going to be executed. But whenever count enable is 1, what happens? The statement count is equal to count plus 1 is going to be executed after 20 time minutes, because the hash 20 delay is given here. Suppose if count enable remains 1 for longer time, then after every 20 time minutes, the count is equal to count plus 1 is going to be executed. That is, it is an increment operation. Count equal to count plus 1. So the value of count is incremented by 1 after every 20 time minutes. Whenever, if count enable is remains for a 1 for longer period of time. So this is about level sensitive timing control. In the next class, we are going to discuss about the conditional statements. Thank you for watching the video.